This is Farrukhabad, a district on the banks of the Ganga in central Uttar Pradesh, and one of the oldest names in the trade of two very different things: printed cloth and the humble potato. The fabric printed here by hand with carved wooden blocks has been traveling the world for more than 1,000 years. And every winter, its potato markets feed kitchens right across North India. But long before any of that, before there was even a town called Farrukhabad, this was Panchala, the land of the Mahabharata, the place where, the old stories say, Draupadi was born from fire. Heritage that deep in a district most people have never even heard of. So let's change that. So where exactly is Farrukhabad? It sits in central Uttar Pradesh in the Kanpur division, about 170 kilometers west of the state capital Lucknow. The Ganga and the Ramganga flow along its eastern edge, and the Kali river runs to the south. Between them lies flat, fertile alluvial plain, part of the Great Doab, some of the most productive farmland anywhere in India. The district covers about 2,280 square kilometers, and at the 2011 census, it was home to more than 18 lakh people. Its main railway town, Farrukhabad Junction, is well connected across the north. The nearest airport is at Kanpur, a couple of hours to the south. The modern district was born in 1714, when a Pashtun commander named Muhammad Khan Bangash founded the city and named it after the reigning Mughal Emperor Farrukhsiyar. Today, the district is divided into three tehsils: Farrukhabad, Kaimganj and Amritpur, along with 7 development blocks and more than 1,000 villages. But the administrative headquarters does not sit in Farrukhabad city. It sits in its twin town, just across the way, Fatehgarh. Fatehgarh grew up around a British military cantonment, an arsenal and parade ground beside the Ganga. The two towns have grown so close together that people now say it all in one breath: Farrukhabad cum Fatehgarh. Farrukhabad's story runs far deeper than its name. In the age of the Mahabharata, this was the kingdom of Panchala, and its capital, Kampilya, today the quiet town of Kampil, is remembered as the place where Draupadi Swayamvara was held, the contest in which Arjun won her hand. A short way off is Sankisa, one of the holiest sites in all of Buddhism, believed to be where the Buddha descended from heaven after teaching the gods, still marked by a worn Ashokan pillar. Then, in the early 18th century, came the Bangash Nawabs. They turned Farrukhabad into a thriving center of commerce, laying out bazaars and quarters, each one given over to a different craft or trade. A pattern you can still read in the lanes of the old city today. And trade is still what Farrukhabad does best. Drive through the district in winter and you will see it everywhere, field after field of potatoes. Farrukhabad lies in the heart of Uttar Pradesh's potato belt, and its great markets like the mandi at Satanpur move thousands of tons every single season to kitchens all across the north. But the district's most famous export is far older than the potato. For more than 1,000 years, Farrukhabad has been printing cloth by hand. The design is carved into a block of wood, dipped in dye, and pressed onto cotton or silk. And the signature pattern is a flowing tree of life. These Farrukhabad prints have earned a geographical indication tag, and today they are sold as bed covers, curtains, and fabric all over the world. Beside them is Zardozi, dense, glittering gold thread embroidery, worked by tens of thousands of artisans whose pieces reach Europe, the Gulf, and North America. Block printing and Zardozi are now the district's one district, one product crafts. Together, they make Farrukhabad one of Uttar Pradesh's quiet export powerhouses. That craftsman's feel for rhythm shows up in something else Farrukhabad gave the world: the tabla. The Farrukhabad gharana is one of the great schools of Indian classical percussion, famous for a soft, singing melodic style that is studied by tabla players everywhere. The district's calendar mixes faiths and seasons. A huge fair gathers at Sankisa for Buddha Purnima each spring, drawing pilgrims from across Asia, while temples, mosques, and dargahs through the old city keep their own festivals through the year. And on the plate, this is the table of the Doab. Rich gravies, kebabs, sweet shops that never seem to close. And of course, the potato, served in 100 different forms. For a district of its size, Farrukhabad has sent some remarkable names out into the world. The greatest is Mahadevi Verma, born right here in 1907, one of the 4 pillars of the Chayavad movement in Hindi poetry. A fearless voice for women, and a Jnanpith laureate whose verse is still taught in classrooms across India. The Farrukhabad gharana produced generations of master tabla players who shaped Indian classical music. And the founder of the city himself, Nawab Muhammad Khan Bangash, remains one of the most striking figures of the late Mughal age. For a visitor, Farrukhabad is less a checklist and more a trail through time. Begin at Sankisa, where that ancient Ashokan elephant pillar still marks the spot of the Buddha's descent. Then on to Kampil with its old temples and the sacred altar linked to the birth of Draupadi. Along the Ganga, the riverside ghats and shrines come alive at festival time, lamps drifting on the water. And in Fatehgarh, the colonial cantonment, its old church, its parade ground, its quiet streets, still carries the memory of the British century. This is not a polished tourist circuit. It is something rarer, living history, going calmly about its day. So that, in short, is Farrukhabad, a district where the Mahabharata, the Buddha, and the Mughals all left their mark, and where even now hands still carve the blocks, print the cloth, and lift the potatoes that feed the north. If this is your district, tell us in the comments below. And if you would like us to cover yours next, subscribe and let us know.